Hey guys, it's me, Jeff Akershurst, and you're recommended here for some apparent reason. So, in today's video, we're actually going to look at why I hate furry stereotypes. This is actually not a personal video because in the last personal video I did like things that annoy me as a furry, that for some reason got a lot of views, and I need a lot of views. So, this is what I'm gonna do. So, you might ask, why do I hate furry stereotypes? Because there is some good ones, but there's some bad ones that the public, or the, normies prefer to use. Now, in my opinion, using the bad ones kinda adds to why furries get a lot of hate in the first place, and also adds to a lot of the complications to, the furry fandom in general. But I'm gonna be honest with you, I don't really hate I don't hate furry stereotypes, I mostly hate the negative ones, and you're gonna probably understand why in a minute. But, however, let's talk about the positive stereotypes, and, well, I guess you would say... I won't say the real ones, because I'm not gonna lie, I think every stereotype, I think reaching anything, a stereotype has a bit of a lie, or like, just a tiny bit of some bullshit into it, you know what I mean? Because that's just how stereotypes are. And yeah, so I'm just going to list off the positive ones, which is like most furries are rich, or most furries work for the military, or I don't know, furries are gay. Like, I don't really know many positive ones, but I do know they exist, and yeah, they do get said. I think they get said as much as the negative ones, but you're gonna start to see what I mean when, like, negatives are a bit out there and a bit mental and outlandish, in my opinion. And it's the ones that label furries as being a groomer, a PDF file, a zoophile, or someone who identifies as an animal. These four things are the main core stereotypes that normies use for furries, and honestly, it pisses me off. Like, oh my god. Like, it's actually insane how many times, as a person who's a furry, having to explain to my new friends who've figured out that I'm a furry, that I am not, I don't identify as an animal, no, I don't want, any sexual attractions to an animal, because, no, that's just fucking wrong. No, I'm not a groomer, no, I'm not a PDF file, no, I'm not this, no, I'm not that. It's actually kind of insane, because nowadays I just joke about it, because it's either you laugh or you just become a little sensitive snowflake, and it's like, I do take the piss out of myself sometimes, depending which person it is, to say, oh yes, I do this, and yes, I am mentally ill. Like, you know what I mean? I do that sort of stuff, and to be honest, I'm not making it sound like a complaint, because honestly, I don't mind it, I think it's funny, because it also builds, a relationship and a friendship. That's kind of how I see it. And yeah, sure, taking the piss out yourself is not always the best thing, but when it comes down to being a little bit sensitive snowflake or taking a joke, I'd rather take a joke and have fun with my friends and shit. But when it comes to be a problem is when people start saying it often as fuck, and when people start, thinking that those stereotypes are true. Which, by the way, don't bullshit me, I know people do think that's true, like furries or groomers or PDF files or this, that and the other, and the PDF file one is actually in-fucking-sane. And it's mostly when furries go public shooting. Well, I think it's either public shooting or they are, encountered at a furry convention where a child comes up to a fursuiter and does something, I guess, I don't fucking know, just near the furry, and people are like, oh, well, that's a PDF file behavior. That's like, motherfucker. It's kind of like what the LGBTQ community goes through, and honestly, it's actually embarrassing to how people think these wild things. And it's actually more insane because anyone could be a paedophile, my friend, or a PDF file. Shit. But you know what I mean? It's like anyone could be one of those disgusting things. It isn't just centered around one group. And there's no real confirmation to say, oh, well, there's a lot of them in that group. Because it's actually wild how people pull out these statistics about how many zoophiles are in the furry community. And I'm not going to determine if that's true or not, but like I say, I've interacted with many furries, and with the encounter and the percentage of how many groomers, zoophiles, whatever, I've not even run into one. And before you ask, oh, I'm over 18, or I'm not a minor, I am a minor. Yeah, insane. But I'm not saying, there isn't bad people in the furry community, because there is. But when it comes down to be a whole entire stereotype based around you know, hating on furries and shit, and it comes down to these reasons that are not true. And when I'm getting called out to be these things, I think that's when I'm like, wow, okay, you're taking it too far. Like, that's just how I see it, but the worst part of these like negative stereotypes though is the fact that it's quite obvious they didn't come from furries, but instead people who hate furries, I feel. Because I feel like these stereotypes, like the negative ones, have mostly came from people who've looked into the furry community and had a bad reputation with it. And honestly, that's just on your side and your opinion. Like I say, that's just up to you. If you had a negative experience with the furry community, that's on you. Well, not on you, but you know what I mean. Like, that's like your opinion. I'm not gonna bash on that because honestly, I do see how people can have a rough time with the furry community, or any community for that example. I'm not gonna single out the furry community, sadly, but it's kind of sad to see that this is what people are starting. Well, not like starting, but they used to like think like furries were this, that, and the other. And I have actually been told by adults, not just your average anti-fur, but adults like in their 20s, saying that furries are this like grooming paedophile, this and the other. And I'm like, okay. And I did my own research, and that was just not the case. And then 2 years later, poof, I became a furry. But yeah, no, I think it's actually insane how, like, just some stereotypes could actually lead to an entire misconception and all that shit. But like I say, I do hate the stereotypes on furries because, you know, it's like, oh, furries are rich. I ain't rich, alright? I joined this community to be rich, and no. I'm obviously joking, by the way, if people didn't catch. But, yeah. But what I would absolutely love is these negative stereotypes to like fade away. And not gonna lie with you, this video kind of English. This video just seemed kind of pointless because, well, these negative stereotypes are dying down. Like, the people that use these stereotypes nowadays are mostly just trolls and shit, and I don't really like interact with them people as much. Like, I used to be like a big snowflake, but nowadays I just let it roll. But it doesn't stop me from having these opinions on topics like stereotypes, and here it is. Stereotypes and stuff like that, you know, all that shit. But like I say, I don't fully hate them, I just dislike, I guess you could say, because of the negatives, you know, stereotypes. But I'm not trying to just say, oh, the furry community only has the negative stereotypes, because many groups, religions and stuff like that does. Like Christianity, oh, the pastor's like a PDF file or something, like that stereotype. I think you know where I'm going with this. It's kind of like a bit embarrassing as a race that we have actually accumulated to these negative stereotypes and just said, okay, let's go with it. Like, I don't know, in my opinion, I think it's just a bit fucked up. I don't really agree with people like going with these negative stereotypes and stuff like that, just with anything, because people start to believe them and then it starts to groups and hate groups and stuff like that. Not really to that far as an extreme, but people start actually thinking that that's the case. And that's not really a good sign for growth. It's more of like a standstill, and it also leads to people sending nasty comments to these people. And this comes down to anyone. But yeah, no, I think this is a brilliant video to make because it's another personal video, and yeah, like I say, the last personal video I made with saying I hate, it blew up, so I'm hoping this happens the same way. But if it doesn't, then it doesn't. Like, you know, I'm still grateful, even just for 10 views. It's just, I don't know, I want to try and make as much views as I possibly can through the week. And yeah, this is the other section of the video. So if you just want to, you know about the video, that's that. But this is now more personal, and I'm not going to upload next week. And the whole reason why I'm not going to upload next week is because I'm going to be on vacation. I'm actually currently in a very, very cold environment, so if I'm like shaking, or you know, you like hear me like like sound like cold or like nervous, I'm not, I'm just really fucking cold. And this is also something about my environment of work, because I work in a very, very cold place in the winter and a very, very hot place in the summer, so I have to kind of accumulate to that sort of environment quick. But however, it's not going to be forever, thank God, but it will have to stay like this for a bit, But yeah, no, I'm gonna be going on vacation and all that stuff. And yeah, that's also why I don't upload very frequently as I think I should. As well. I'm kind of like yapping here, but yeah, no. If you like the video, subscribe, and if you don't, see you later, I guess.